TD, how you doing, buddy?
What's going on? How you been?
I'm great, man. How you been?
I see you on TV all the time, and
I see you on TV all the time.
Now you are here, or I guess I'm here in the flesh.
Now you're here in the flesh.
Yeah, what's going on?
So everything is good, man. How's everything with you?
Life has been good. This last year has been I keep saying it's the gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah.
It's been an experience. It's been a fantastic year. From February when David Baker knocked on the door till now, really. I mean, we've been celebrating the Hall of Fame ever since, and it's been a nonstop, basically, celebration.
That's cool.
And I'm with that. So I think I have one more school to go to. I'm going to Long Beach State in February to kind of finish off the celebrations then. But no, it's been fantastic.
That is so cool, man. I'm so proud of you. I'm so happy for you because I really do believe that you were always very deserving of being a Pro Football Hall of Famer. I know you're here with Kay Jewelers, and so since we have the simulcast going on, if you want to swing that around so that the cameras can check that out.
There you go.
You got some good jewelry over there.
Yes, I do.
Some nice jewelry over there.
Yeah, there you go. Right here. This is the ring. This is the Ring of Excellence, and it was created by Kay Jewelers, which is the official jeweler of the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
That's good looking bling.
It's a beautiful, man. This is a beautiful ring here, man. So Kay Jewelers made this thing. And I always say, man, if Kay Jewelers can make this for the Pro Football Hall of Fame, then imagine what Kay can do for you. And it's a special time of the year. It's a holiday time of the year. So we encourage you guys to go down to Kay Jewelers store or Kay.com to find and buy that special gift for that special someone for this time of year, man, which really creates that memory that will last forever during this time of the year.
When David Baker knocked on your hotel room, what is that moment like? Because you don't know if he knocks on your hotel room, then you know you're in, or can he knock on your hotel room and say you didn't get in?
When he knocks, you're in.
When he knocks.
So, when he knocks.
So if somebody else knocks,
if someone
it's like
else
the
knocks,
Turk?
It's like the Turk, right? So this is my third year being a finalist. And every year you're a finalist, you either find out at the site of the Super Bowl whether you're going in, which is really the day of that Saturday. So it's like the day of NFL honors. The first time I made it, I was in a room. You go to a hotel room, and you just sit there and wait.
So all the finalists are in a hotel room
their
with
own
their
room,
families.
own separate room, and you can have family and friends in the room waiting. You go in about 4 o'clock, and then you either get – the first year, you either got a call or a knock. And my wife called me because they called the house. And she's like, the Hall of Fame called the house. The Hall of Fame called. And I'm like, oh, that's great. I said, but why did they call you? And apparently my cell phone was off. So she
got into the Hall of Fame.
so she thought they were calling to say, you made it.
Yeah.
But then they called and they said, I didn't make it. And that was year one. Year two, I got a knock on the door, and it wasn't David Baker. It was another guy. When he knocked on the door, I looked at him and I said, should I give you a hug or should I punch you in the gut? And he put his hand over his stomach, and I was like, okay, I knew I wasn't going to make it. So then when David knocked last year, the knock is distinctive. You know it's David Baker. It's like the FBI breaking into the door.
He's a big man. For those that don't know, he's got to be 6'3", 6'4", and
he
300.
feels around 6'6".
Yeah.
At least 380 pounds is the way he looks. He's that big.
Yeah.
And when he knocks, you know he's knocking on the door. And when he knocked, I grabbed my daughter at the time, my wife and my kids were in the room. All my friends were in there, my marketing agent, my agent. And I felt like that was the moment. I just felt like it was that, and it was him. And we opened the door up, man. I just buckled to my knees, thank God. Just relief, man. Everything was just relief from that point.
I just love that. Terrell Davis joins us here in studio. And, I always felt like you were so deserving because there was a precedent, and that was Gale Sayers. And Gale Sayers was the Kansas Comet. He was a shooting star, but he was injured. He tore up his ACL like you decades before. But, had he played longer, we know that he would have put up 10,000 yards and all those numbers that usually get you into the Hall of Fame. And I really felt like Gale Sayers was a cool precedent for you because at the time when you played, you were the greatest running back in the league, and nobody could deny that for 3 or 4 seasons. And then, of course, the injury happens. So I just think it's such a cool story of redemption. Had you not gotten in, would you have been comfortable with your career and how it ended up? I mean, I guess maybe you're never comfortable.
Yeah, I think I was. I was comfortable with my career. I think I don't know if it was a final chapter, but there was a part of it that didn't have an ending. So my career was good, and I felt like no matter what happened after, nobody could take away from what we achieved when I was at the Broncos. And so I was comfortable with that. What I didn't know was this process to the Hall of Fame. And before I was even mentioned as a Hall of Famer, I was okay. But then when you start telling me and people start talking about whether I belong or not.
You're listening to the debate.
You listen to it, and then they start to tease you a little bit about it. And then you make the semifinals, or at least I made the semifinals. And then it was the ideal of, man, maybe it's possible. Maybe. And now you get to a point where I was getting 6 or 7 years making the semifinalist. And then I wasn't getting any further than that. I was like, okay, maybe that was it. Maybe it was just meant for me to be at this point, and that's it. And if I do advance, maybe I'm a senior candidate. And I thought that was a possibility. And so, but then the more it started to seem like it was possible, the more I wanted it.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah.
Sports, one of the things I'm drawn to is that there's metaphors in sports all the time that you can use in your life even if you are not an athlete. And one of those is when you are not the starting running back of the Denver Broncos and you were in a preseason game in Tokyo, you're on special teams. And you've got no leash to assume that you're going to make this team, and you have no idea you've got a Pro Football Hall of Fame career ahead of you. And you just ball out, and you were on special teams kick coverage, and you make a hit in that game that just wakes up everybody. Now, your attitude of that, as you've said, is I'm going to do whatever it takes to make this team. Even if I'm a running back, this is special teams coverage. Your attitude in that game, I think, can be reflective of other people going, man, I don't care where I'm at right now. I'm going to do everything I can to get there. When you look back at your attitude going into that game, what do you remember about yourself and how you viewed your place in the NFL?
Okay, so before that game, I tried to quit. I tried to go home from Tokyo. So I remember thinking, I'm not going to make this team. I'm not going to get a shot. I think that week of practice was like the worst practice I've had since I was with the Broncos. And I was like, who am I fooling? I'm not making this team. So I was trying to leave Tokyo. It didn't happen. And I was like, okay, so I'll go through it. I'll go to the game. And once we get back home, then I'll quit.
What's going to be your job if you quit?
I was going to go back to Georgia. You know, I'm from the university. I graduated from the University of Georgia. I feel like I was going to go back to Georgia and figure it out. I had no plan. Okay. I was going to figure it out.
Okay.
But football certainly wasn't in the cards, at least not because of what I was going through. So then that game happens, and I get an opportunity. And I just remember thinking, man, this is it. Like, I got to make a play. I've got to do something to make me known, make the coaches notice. And thank God I was able to go down there and make that hit. And once I made that hit, immediately the coaches and my teammates were excited. The next series that they put me in, I had about 8 carries, about 40 yards, so decent. And that was kind of the start of it. And then next game, I got more and more reps, came in earlier in the game, and I just started to snowball. They put me on every single special teams after that. And it just felt comfortable, though. It was no time during that where I felt like I was overwhelmed or that it was getting too big for me. I felt like that's where I belonged. And obviously, 20-something years later, we end up here in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. So it was a great start.
The only thing about that story that I did not know until I was doing some reading when I knew that you were going to come in is it true you ate a chili dog, a hot dog, French fries, and candy before you made that hit?
Yes. And here's
so now you are an honorary member of our show because we love that.
Well, so preseasons are pretty. You know how preseasons work.
Oh yeah.
All right. So the first game, the starters don't play much. They go to the bench and they're in basically street clothes and everybody is on the sideline and they're eating food.
Yeah.
I don't eat before a game. Typically.
Okay.
So I'm normally starving in the second half. I'm figuring I'm not going to play anyway, so I might as well enjoy some of the food these guys are eating. So I'm throwing down. I think we had nachos. I think it was hot dogs. And I was like, man. And then they called me to go in. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. So then after I ran out and made the tackle, I also went to the bench and chucked up a few hot dogs too.
you put such a hit on the guy that you came over and had him vomit on the sideline.
Had to get it out, man. It was like coming up through my throat. And I was like, I had to get that out.
It's so great, man. Terrell Davis joins us here on the show. Pro Football Hall of Famer, Super Bowl MVP, NFL Network analyst. And you're here on behalf of Kay Jewelers. As you mentioned, the holidays are here. Kay does some amazing work. I mean, the ring that you have in front of you is just gorgeous. And so for our listeners, they can go to Kay.com. For our viewers on the simulcast, at Kay Jewelers on Twitter. There's a lot of places you can find them. There's a lot of Kay Jewelers out there. And this is a cool time of year to go out there and check out what Kay's got.
It is, man. It's about creating that special moment in this time of the year. And, again, what perfect way to really set that off by going down and purchasing something special for this time of the year and the holidays to really make these memories last. And that's what Kay Jewelers have done. And you talked about this piece, man. It's just a phenomenal piece that
That's gorgeous.
that they've created here.
Oh, it's gorgeous. Yeah, you got to check this out at watchda.com. I love you very much, and now my girlfriend loves you even more because now we've got Kay Jewelers, and I'm sure she's going to go like, oh, wow, so you were speaking about Kay Jewelers today.
There you
okay,
go.
So
there
why don't
you
we
go.
go check that out? Okay.
There you go.
So cool, man. Congratulations again. I'm so thrilled for you. I'm so happy for you. You've always been amazing with your time around here. And, again, Kay Jewelers, Kay.com, at Kay Jewelers on Twitter, Facebook.com/Kay Jewelers. They're on Pinterest, Instagram, YouTube. Use the hashtag KMVP, and you can see at watchda.com how cool the rings and the bling is right now on the simulcast. Very, very cool. Well, man, it's good to see you, buddy.
DA, good to see you, man. Always.